So this video is all about getting a bit of mobility in your thoracic spine. So your upper part of your spine, roughly sort of here to here. It often gets quite stiff and static if you are sat at a desk a lot or do specific exercises or exercise like runners, cyclists. They also tend to get a bit of stiffness up here. So for this one, you either need one of these squidgy balls, or if you haven't got that, just a pillow is absolutely fine. I know that's quite a long pillow, but you can even get just a normal bed pillow and just fold it in half, just something sort of relatively narrow to place under your back in a moment. So to start, you can either be kneeling, you can be cross-legged, or if you're more comfortable, you can sit up on a chair for the first bit. We're going to have hands on shoulders, and we're just going to loosen up through the shoulders by circling them out and round. Oh, the cat's coming to join us today. So loosening out. When you feel comfortable, you're going to start to extend the arms out. So you're sweeping circles. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears. So you don't want to be up here, shoulders are down, you've got a lovely long neck. Good. We're going to do two more. And then we're going to finish with the arms out in front. Okay, arms are shoulder height, shoulders are down, and we are lifting up through the spine. So imagining that piece of string pulling us up, rather than, if I turn to the side you'll see a bit better, rather than slumping down. Okay, so if you need to, like I say, sit on a chair where you can get into that neutral position, you're lifting up and the shoulders are therefore back and down away from the ears. From there, we're going to pick up the left hand and we're going to take it out, skim it past the ear. We're going to twist towards it as we do, reaching behind us and then skimming it all the way back and down to the start. So we take it up past the ear on the right now, reaching behind and then back and down. Now you want to make sure, whichever position you've picked, your hips are anchored, okay? So in this kneeling position, it's quite easy to keep your hips fixed to the floor, but if you are, say, standing or maybe even seated on a chair, you might find that your hips start to rotate, okay? You need to anchor them, almost like from the waist down you are cemented, and that way you'll get the rotation in this upper back that we're targeting. Okay, the other thing to look out for is just where your shoulders are. You want to make sure that as you circle the arms, you're not taking the shoulder up to the ear. The shoulder stays down and it's the arm skimming past the ear. Good, we're going to do a couple more like this. Try if you can to reach a little bit further behind you each time you go round, looking towards the hand as it travels. You can hear that, that's my shoulder cracking. It's clearly not been worked enough, moved enough. Coming back to the start when you're ready, putting the hands down on the ground, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to do a thread needle. So we're going to pick up the right hand. You're trying to think about your spine being as long as possible as you do this. So you want to imagine there's a pole going down from the head to the tailbone and you need to rotate around that pole. So we're going to rotate through. You soften into the left hand, left elbow, and rotate towards that right hand. Then you unthread and take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, so what I'm not trying to do is flex through the spine. So in this position, my back is not straight anymore. I'm not flexed. I'm not straight, sorry, I'm flexed. So I want to try and rotate instead so that I'm flexing. I'm not flexing. I'm keeping the spine nice and straight and going up. I know. Threading through, rotating, and then unthreading and taking it up. And again, rotating through, looking towards that hand, and then as you unthread it, taking it up. Good, last couple, rotate without flexing, and then unthread. Last time, threading through, and then unthreading and up to the ceiling. Just do a gentle cat-cow stretch. And then you're going to walk the hands forward. So you're going to leave your bottom over your knees, walk the hands and drop the forehead down to the floor into a puppy stretch. So walk your fingers away. Again, try and keep the shoulders away from the ears. You don't want them hunching. And when you take your breaths, push the breath out behind you to get a little bit more of a stretch across the upper back. And release. squeeze. You can hold that stretch as long as you feel comfortable, but I'm just going to hold it that long for me. Walk the hands back in. And this is where you're going to bring in your ball. So I'm going to use the ball, but like I say, it's just as effective with a cushion or a folded over pillow. We're going to come down so that the cushion is roughly between your shoulder blades. So just a bit higher than your bra straps if you're wearing one. Okay, we're going to relax back over it. So I'm going to relax back over the ball. But again, if this is too extreme for you, either reduce the amount of air in your ball, or if you need to, get another pillow and place it behind your head to support you. Once you're in that position, we're going to take the hands up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. Now we're going to think about the lower back, okay? We want to slightly press the lower back down into the mat. And what that will do is that will force your upper back to extend rather than just letting your lower back do all the extension work. So press the lower back down and then switch on your belts and just pull in so that you don't start to lift away from the floor again. We're going to start to open the arms out to the sides. Hopefully you haven't got a cat in the way. And then take the hands back up again. So keep the breathing even and steady as you do this. And up. Just stretching open. And then bringing them back up. We're going to do 2 more. Opening out. And obviously the higher you are with your upper back off the mat or the floor, the harder this becomes in terms of getting to the floor. So just play around with what works best for you in your mobility. Then from here, we're going to take the arms down behind you. Again, be very conscious what's going on with your lower back. Don't let it lift as the arms go behind you. You get as close to the floor as you can and sweep all the way round. And again, all the way up and over, pushing the lower back into the mat, opening out across the shoulders. So great for getting the shoulders loosened up, great for stretching across the chest and pecs. And then we're going to finish with the arms up towards the ceiling and go down the other way. So we take the arms down the body and then out and around. Again, watching that lower back. Circling around and then up and over. One more time in this direction. We get back up. We're going to open the arms wide again, but this time we're going to bend into the elbows, so we're in like an E shape, palms facing the ceiling. Okay, and we're going to slide the shoulder blades down the back. The elbows will come towards your side, not necessarily to it, and then you're going to release. So if you're looking at yourself in this position, give you a bit of more of an idea. We're going to slide the shoulder blades down and then release. Okay, so you're lying on your ball in that position. Okay. And again, you want to keep the lower back pressing into the floor and then releasing. See if we can do 2 more. Squeeze and release. It's not about pulling your elbows down to your sides. It's about sliding the shoulder blades down your back and then releasing them. And that will encourage the elbows down, but not necessarily all the way to your sides. And we're going to release. We're going to extend the arms back out, and this is sometimes just a nice position to stay in with your arms wide, that feeling of openness across the chest, that extension back over your ball or your cushion. But when you're ready, we're going to add a bit of rotation. We're going to take the arms up, cross them over, give ourselves a cuddle. Take the feet and knees really wide, because what we want to do is anchor the waist, okay? So we want the feet and knees to stay as still as possible, everything in the hips to stay as still as possible, and we're going to rotate with the upper body. So we're going to drop one shoulder down towards the floor, then rotate back up, and drop the shoulder the other way. And again, depending on your mobility and how high or firm your ball is, you might get all the way to the floor, you might not, it doesn't matter. Just encourage a little bit more rotation through the upper back each time you do this. The key is to avoid your knees and hips rolling around. And obviously I'm exaggerating, but that's the movement you want to avoid. You want everything nice and still from the waist below. And when you're done, you just heel toe the feet back together. You can take the ball out from behind you and just hug the knees into the chest. Okay. We're going to hug the knees in, and if you feel comfortable, you're going to lift your head and shoulders, touch towards your knees, and then release down. Exhaling as you come up, so you're in a tiny little ball, and then inhaling, releasing down. One more time, exhaling and inhaling. And that is a nice little routine to get your upper back moving again. It's not a long one, but it is an effective one, so enjoy.